Alrighty, Hosses, welcome back, and in this video it's actually going to be real quick because all I'm going to do is show you guys how to add a simple image to your screen. Now before we get started, I want to mention this. In the last tutorial, actually the last two tutorials, I kind of talked to you guys about the basic structure for a project, how your directories are set up, and I also explained a couple simple things like what all these methods do and batch and how to clear your screen. Well, a lot of this functionality you use in almost every game that you make. For example, you're always going to have this create method, you're always going to have a render method, you're always going to clear the screen and draw stuff on it. So instead of writing it in every single video, what I did is I wrote the basic shell for everything one time. For example, all of these methods, and also the batch, which is used for drawing stuff and wiping the screen, of course. And I took all this code and I pasted it in my forum. So if you just go in the forum, whenever you're trying to use these demos, you can just take this, paste it in, and this is going to be my starting point from now on. So anyways, now I can move on to the specific good stuff. It'll speed up our learning process a little bit more. So before we add an image to the screen, we actually need an image in the project, and the location that you add that is actually in Android. You add it in your assets folder. So remember I said that like 99% of the time we're going to stay out of this folder. Well, this is the 1% exception. So I'm just going to go to, actually let me just do this. Alright, so wherever your project is, again mine is named Bucky Blaster. If you go to Android and then assets, again we already have one by default. That was the first demo one, and I have this image of, I don't know, it's just something I was posting on the New Boston. I made pizza last night, so I posted it on my stream so everyone could see, and yeah, so now it's added. And if you hop over back, I'll show you guys. So assets, so there's the pizza. It was delicious. I really want pizza now. Should I pause the video and make a pizza? No, I'm not that fat. But alright, all I can think about is pizza now. Oh, so cheesy. Alright, so the first thing I want to do in the code is just initialize two variables. So what's going to happen is we're going to add the image to our project using one variable, and then we need to convert it to a sprite. Now a sprite is a special type of image pretty much that your game can use. It's used for collision detection, moving around, pretty much a game image. So first, private texture. So this is just going to be the raw image, and I'll just store that in image. And whenever we convert it to a sprite, of course we need to store that in a sprite object, and I might as well just name it sprite. So now in create, this is how we do all this, and it's actually really easy. For the image, we're just going to set this equal to new texture, and the only parameter that this takes is the name of this image is a string. So that's pizza.ping. Alright, so now our image is initialized. In other words, this is just a raw image. We can't add it to the game. We can't use it at all. This is just image data, a bunch of pixels. Means nothing to game development. So let's go ahead and initialize our sprite object from the sprite class. Now the one parameter that we're going to pass in here is the image itself. So what this is going to do is it's going to take this graphic of the pizza and initialize it as a sprite object. In other words, convert it to a sprite, so now we can use this object to do cool things like, hold on. My house is like really dry for some reason because, well, I know why, because it's winter and I couldn't open my windows for like the last 6 months, so I got the same crappy air, and yeah, so I have like breathing problems or something. But anyways, that's what's going on so far. And remember, before you worry about using it at all, you need to remember to dispose of it when you're done with it, unless we want tons of memory leaks. So now, again, later on I'm going to show you guys like cool things like animation and moving around and collision detection and bumping sprites into each other. But for right now, we will just take this and draw it on the screen. Now remember, to draw it, you pass in batch And now let me go ahead and kick this off. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so kick that off, and now with Android, start recording my phone. And alright, so let me take my phone. I'm actually holding it in my hands. Look at that, a nice, beautiful piece of pizza. Alright, so there you have it. Again, pretty simple stuff, pretty basic, how to take an image, convert it to a sprite, draw it on your phone. Now that we are a little bit more comfortable with game development, we're going to start getting into the good stuff. So in the next video, I'm actually going to be showing you guys something useful, and that is animations. Because you're going to want to animate in almost every game that you make. Not often are you going to want to display pictures of the pizza that I ate. So yeah, in the next tutorial is where things get good. I'll see you then.